I thought it would be rather interesting if I was to try and ring Trudy, who set up Warming Up the Homeless. She's now, she set up, as I've said in my previous videos, she set up the charity Warming Up the Homeless, and she's ex-police, and she's supposed to be concerned about vulnerable women. And she has texted me that she'd contacted agencies who should have contacted me. No one has done anything for me. Absolutely nothing. It's just constant lies, constant false promise, you name it. Now, when you're a vulnerable woman and you've got no friends or family and you're a victim of all this corruption and tyranny and chaos, do you see where I'm going with this? I could smack my head against a wall. Funny that. I could. This demented individual that threatened to punch me said that I was smacking my head against a wall. I wasn't, but I could. So I thought maybe I might just try and ring Trudy. Okay, she's on holiday. Now, that's what they're telling me. They're telling me Trudy is on holiday. But I do find that a bit odd, because these two women here who offered to help me, and for some reason, despite the fact that it was blatantly obvious what they were all about from the get-go when I moved in, for some reason, I still went along with it, because I give people a chance. So I gave that one downstairs, Natalie, I gave her Trudy's phone number. And I just thought, what am I doing? Well, I can tell they're already troublemakers, but what the heck? When you're vulnerable, you're vulnerable. When you're a victim of corruption, you're a victim of corruption. So, but I thought I might just try and ring Trudy. And if I don't ring her, I will send her if I don't get through to her, well, I ring and ring and ring and ring. You can't leave a voice message for her. If she's ex-police and she set up a charity that's supposed to help the homeless and she cares about vulnerable women, she works 100 hours a week. How is it, though, that she can ignore all of my text messages, then finally text me to say, I've done my bit. These agencies should have contacted you. I've given her a second chance when I already have no faith. You see what I mean? So, but the fact that there is now a police investigation, and this Trudy from Warming Up the Homeless is ex-police. There's now a police investigation into the individual next door who threatened to punch me. So do you see where I'm going with this? It's extremely dark. So, yes. I mean, I've texted John to say, I did send him a couple more text messages saying, I'm going to email Andrew Cook and see the MP. The council did not do as the judge instructed. In any case, why do you think I had a self-contained flat for my safety at SDR Living? Beaten from me by police thugs as a response to my father's death. You see, this reinforcement of my partner's psychological abuse, which the perpetrators who are abusing me, are saying my partner is abusing me. You see what I mean? So it's an all-round narcissistic vicious circle. They said my issues were too complex. Losing a parent, sickening. You want to protect dangerous criminals. That's what I sent that to John Clement, the director of Lilybank Homes, half an hour ago. That's my last text messages. So I think I might just try Trudy, because I do feel physically sick, actually. I do feel physically sick. Excuse me, wiping my mouth. I do feel horrible. I feel horrible. I mean, if she's ex-police and she's concerned about vulnerable women, it's pathetic, isn't it? It's all so... I could get kindergarten children, you know, to help me with all of this. Well, they just wouldn't behave like this. I mean, there are no responsible adults in the world anymore. Were there ever, though? That's the question. I mean, you wouldn't have wars if kindergarten children were in charge, would you? I'm going to ring the police afterwards to get an update. So, right, so she's obviously back from her holidays, because I was told that the reason why it said it was unable to connect me was because she was on holiday. But again, if she's ex-police and she's concerned about vulnerable women, and she told me to put in writing under the Housing Act if this is unsuitable, but then they still ignore you. So the charities, well, you know what they say, 99% of charities are owned by the Illuminati. Well, of course they are. Everything is. But you know, but they don't. No one does anything by law. But if you can't even get someone to do something basic for you, if you've got men running away from you with their knickers in the air because you're asking them about bins and recycling, and it's too scary for them, and yet they're supposed to be the directors and managers. As it is, there's no future for the young. Why are you having babies? Why are you having children when there's no future for us? When we can't even get people, grown adults, to do something about recycling and bins because it's too frightening for them, and there's no future for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Why are you bringing them into this? I can't even keep temporary accommodation without dealing with these lunatics, right? You know how sad their existence must be, because I'm actually trying to get a life. I'm actually, you know, I helped out on the till in the Christian tea room after my mother died, but I wasn't getting help with her cancer. My late mother would be 86. No, I had to leave early because I got a kidney infection at the Trinity Trees over the doorstep, which is now closed down. It's just an ordinary cafe now. But I took my mother's advice after she died. But I was getting physically and mentally iller and iller and iller, and no one was doing anything in the community. And my sister's now brain damaged, talking about life expectancy as a result of losing our mother. And I had the domestic abuse helpline say that suicide wasn't it. I wish I'd recorded it. I wish I'd played it and put it on YouTube, because it's shocking. Shocking, but not surprising. The woman on the phone line said, "Oh, suicide isn't within our remit. I'm going to have to terminate the call." This is the National Domestic Abuse Helpline. You could not make it up if you tried. It's utter insanity. So this is where you can't see the difference between overwhelming stress and psychological abuse, because my partner, I was practically squatting in my partner's friend's flat after I had used £12,000 of your taxpayers' back pip to self-fund hotels just for my safety when I was attacked by convicted criminals. And Monique Prescott, who placed me here, her manageress, the Eastbourne Housing Needs Specialist, Grace Hill, said that place was suitable. And members of the public could see, and I recorded them. But this is where these people who are afraid to lose their jobs say, I go round filming people. You can't film with this. You can't film with this. Look, it's a cheap, old-fashioned phone. I've just got this laptop. I'm too afraid to go to the custody centre. I was beaten and bruised after being taken down from Beachy Head by PC McCarthy, the foreign one. Didn't get his name, and then later beaten and bruised by PC McCarthy, PC Ford and PC Lines, the female. They said I didn't need a mental health nurse. This was a response to my father's death. My Iranian lady friend saw my distress. She comes from one of the most hostile countries in the world, and she said the UK police are horrendous, so even she knows. She saw my distress. I didn't show her the bruises, and that's crucial evidence, Catherine, that you and this Matthew 25 lot had taken down. Yeah? So, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. So you and that troll want me to jump off Beachy Head. Well, so do the police. PC McCarthy, my partner's got his badge number. Maybe that troll was PC McCarthy. My partner's got his badge number. He arrested my partner. I was hiding behind the wall. I didn't want that scumbag anywhere near me. I don't even want to think about it. That fat oaf. He's as dangerous, just as dangerous as PC Wayne Couzens, who was jailed for life for the rape and murder. You're not safe. You're not safe with any of them. You're not safe with the police. You're not safe with the property managers. You're not safe with the council. You're not safe with anyone. If I was beaten out of my flat as a response to my father's death, and that's why they gave me a self-contained flat for my safety. Self-contained, temporary self-contained for my safety. They want me to kill myself because I'm speaking the truth of these crimes against humanity, and the stupid ones are the ones who are not listening. They're the stupid ones. They're putting everyone's life in danger. So I'm going to ring 101 now to get an update on this and say that I'm being unlawfully harassed by John the director, because the landlady should have been arrested anyway. What was she doing going abroad? What was the landlady doing going abroad when she should have been arrested? By law, the landlady is supposed to be arrested for locking out a vulnerable tenant. I was a tenant at her property in Whitley Road. I'm a licensee under the council. And I have licensee rights.
Thank you for calling 101.
I entered a contract when I moved to Eastbourne. I was contracting under common law to get support in the community from the social services. My late mother was dying of a rare cancer, and they forced me to sign a homeless application form with no support. No support with mental health, no support with my mother's death, Nothing. So it's taken all these years to have a mental breakdown, and they've made me a target for speaking the truth.
China. Thus, to deal with your inquiry as quickly as possible. If your call is about you or someone you know experiencing a mental health crisis, please hang up and dial 111 and press option 2, where you will be able to speak to specially trained mental health staff. Did you know you can report crime online at sussex.police.uk, which is quick and easy to use. You can report non-urgent incidents, including crimes such as theft and road.
The fact that the Americans are now waking up to what's going on in the UK, and why there is just so much insanity and mental illness and just lunacy and riots and people just going nuts. Well, it's your own fault. It's your own fault. You didn't stand up to them. You didn't stand up for your rights. Because British people don't. They don't. They just allow these idiots to do the hell what they like, these criminals. And the worst criminals are the ones in control that are running the show. The local mafia, as it were, Eastbourne Borough Council, which is why they're doing this to me, you know. It's pretty... I was warned that I would have the establishment on my back. Yes, Chris, you were right. But what do you lot do? You're just standing back and just keep calm and carry on, have a cup of tea. That's what they want you to do in this country, and shut your mouth and just keep suffering.
How can I help?
Hi there, I've got a reference number 1005. Dated I think it was Thursday, yes.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Sorry, so can you hear me now? Yes, I've got a reference number 1005 dated Thursday. I don't know, what day was that? To really get an update, and to also report that I am still currently being harassed by the director of this property. When I am, yes, I'm in my room. Thank you. Okay, all right, thank you.
Stay on the line, but we are extremely busy at the moment. There's about a 33-minute wait.
Oh, gosh.
I can pop you through. You can select the option for a callback.
Could I have a call back then, please?
Yeah, I'll pop you through. Okay, obviously if the situation changes at all and you find you're in immediate danger, you'll need to hang up the call on 999, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Connecting you now, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. It's funny, she could hear me then, couldn't she? Sometimes they say they can't hear you, and then this. Well, no, this does happen though. It does make you overthink, because when you've got BHT and Citizens Advice asking you, does this happen a lot? The phone cutting out on you, and you're like, yeah, it does. Is it the 77 Brigade? Ray Savage said it was.
If you want to skip the wait, you can hold your place in the queue by using our callback service, which will save you time. Please press 1 now to take advantage of this.
Your guess is as good as mine. I think I'm gonna...
Please record your name, then press any key.
It's Bryony.
To call back on the number you are dialing, press 1. To request a call back from a different number, press I detected the number as 1 or hang up.
I should get a call back then. I'm quite busy at the moment. But I'm going to send a text message to Trudy. Hang on a minute. So this is the text message I'm about to send. Trudy from Warming Up the Homeless, who is ex-police, who is concerned about vulnerable women, but she failed to get agencies, I don't even know what agencies she's talking about, to contact me. This is what I mean. No one does anything. It's utter lunacy and insanity in this town. This is Eastbourne. Trudy from Warming Up the Homeless. Hi Trudy, I just wanted you to know that PC Wilkins was here in my room on Saturday, and to investigate. I wanted you to know that PC Wilkins was here in my room on Saturday to investigate the woman next door who threatened to punch my face. Who threatened to investigate the woman next door who threatened to punch my face unprovoked and able-bodied without her walking stick. PC Wilkins phoned an ambulance for me, as I am always a hairbreadth from attempting suicide on Beachy Head, and John, the so-called director, is continuing to harass me unlawfully. The council did not do as the judge had instructed, as it is. I will forward you one of John's texts. Bryony. You can keep covering all of this up. Do you know something? John, the director, said, it's a lot of paperwork. We've had to, it's a lot of paperwork if you die. Yeah, well, it'll be a lot more paperwork. A lot of paperwork if I die. Because there'll be a lot of questions asked. So a death is in itself is a lot of paperwork. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, you poor thing. So I'm just going to delete that, and then I'm going to forward John's text message here to Trudy, the one about saying I'm not safe in this house. Because if John the director is saying I'm not safe in this house, right? If John the director is saying I am not safe here, so I will then forward that text message to Trudy, who's ex-police, who set up the charity Warming Up the Homeless, who's concerned about vulnerable women. So this is what I'm forwarding to Trudy from Warming Up the Homeless. We have said we can no longer house you and you should report to the council. If you report back to the council, they will rehouse you. But your time in our property has come to an end for your safety and the safety of other residents. You fed up with me? You wouldn't survive, none of you, not one of you would survive 2 minutes in my shoes. I had a PCSO say to me, when was it? It was about 5 years ago. And I think it was during the incident when John locked me out of his all-male house share at Salon Place. That female PCSO said to me, Bryony, most people would have given up a long time ago, and to be perfectly honest, I'd be more angry than you. I wasn't showing a quarter of my anger. These are crimes against humanity. Some of them, to this day, are still hangable offences under Nuremberg Treaty. They're the death penalty, yes. But nobody cares. Everybody runs around with their knickers in the air. Oh, Brian, he's talking about recycling and rubbish. Quick. Come on, guys. Come on, men. Come on, men. Come and join me. I'm John. Bryony is talking about recycling and bins. Oh. Let's go report back to Andrew Cook, her bent housing officer, and all the other bent knobs. That, at Eastbourne Borough Council, let's say, Bryony's talking about bins and recycling. It's too frightening. We've got to do whatever Sarah tells us to do. Otherwise she'll come after us with her walking stick. Yes. She didn't have her walking stick, and you can see in the video she's bending right down. That's why they don't want me filming. And I don't even have a smartphone. I've got a cheap phone and a laptop. And I'm filming for my safety because John's CCTV doesn't work, just like the Charles Lucas property management one. I'll keep repeating myself till I'm blue in the face. If it's true that she knows these, because she even said to me, I'm the one that gets people out of this house. My partner said to me, well, you didn't tell me that. I said, I can't think of everything all the time. These nutters were asking me if I was schizophrenic. He said, well, that's actually quite serious. The fact that Sarah said to you when you moved in, I'm in charge of who's kicked out of this house. I said, well, I don't know. I thought she meant because she was sane. I thought what she meant was, well, how wrong I'm the stupid one, aren't I? I thought that they were responsible adults. Well, no, because John has locked me out of Ceylon Place and I had to get my Barclays Bank to try and get me back in. Are they all drugs dens? It's true what that website says. Eastbourne is full of too many drugs dens. I mean, she wasn't joking then when she said that she knew the convicted criminals. She wasn't joking then. That you never know. When she said to me, darling, you're not safe in here. You never know who's going to walk through that door. Well, go on then. Pull your finger out then. Cough up the one-bedroom flat then. Come on, Monique Prescott. You said to me when you put me in here, you said, what you need, darling. You took my hand. What you need is a one-bedroom flat. And then these lovely ladies are doing the same thing. You need a one-bedroom flat. And now I'm being kicked out of here with a threat of a punch in the face. Really, Monique? Really? And you don't mind what I say on my YouTube channel about you? You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable. You're all nutters, all of you. All of you in this town. You couldn't make it up if you tried. I'm just trying to get by, just trying to survive. And I can't relax for 5 minutes. This 85-year-old retired matron who worked at the Princess Royal something or other Royal Hospital in Brighton is happy to go to prison for what she's done to me. But that's just for locking me out of the house. That's not even for the psychological abuse. The horrific abuse. And I was assaulted by the Ratton school teacher. She hasn't been arrested. That Dion that came in and started calling me racist, calling my partner a cunt. There's Darren, who's all quiet and shy, and we're having a cup of tea, and she comes in. But I got 1.7 thousand views for PCAE 001, who turned up to say that the school teacher doesn't want to write me a note. Boo-hoo-hoo! A school teacher doesn't want to write you a note. And the Argus newspaper had a Ratton school teacher jailed for raping a 14-year-old. You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. This is why I shouldn't take drugs and drink and do all of that. Not because, regardless of whether I want to kill myself or not, but because I need to keep my faculties, to keep up with what you lot are doing and what you're writing on record. Oh, Bryony said this. Bryony did that. Bryony did this. Oh, she's talking about recycling and rubbish. We need to say that she is delusional and she's schizophrenic because I want to keep my job. I want to keep my pension. You're sick. You're sick. Your ancestors died fighting for our freedoms, and some of them were school age. And you got a rattan school teacher coming in, behaving like a 2-year-old. It's my kitchen. I'm going to play music. You're an effing bitch. You're a cunt. You're racist. A school teacher. Now I know why my estranged goddaughter, who would be 17 now, was removed from the school system. Because as much as I thought her mother drove me nuts, and I have to be very careful what I say, she still had her head screwed on. As maddening as she was, she still had. And I'm trying to say that as nicely as I can, but that's why I was no longer friends with her. But I get it now, because I've woken up in a dystopian reality of total and utter insanity, Eastbourne Borough Council. Thank you, Abba Yahweh, for my hedge of protection. Yahweh willing. So we've got to keep pushing through all of this. Everything's being revealed to me. But I do need your prayers for me, Darren and Bronya, my sister, please. And pray in the name of Yahweh. As Darren said, the name of Yahweh, his name. His name is very, very important.